Hey, what's up, folks? If you're looking for the best espresso machines, you've landed in the perfect spot. We've done the research to bring you the best espresso machines options for this year. Considering price, performance, and usage scenarios, stick around to discover which espresso machine is the best fit for you. You can find all the product links with the best deals in the description box below. Our list is in no particular order, so be sure to stay tuned till the end. Let's get started. Number 1, Breville Bambino Plus, the best espresso machine overall. The Breville Bambino Plus impressed us in our testing, consistently producing high-quality espresso and offering an excellent automatic milk frother for that extra professional finishing touch. It's difficult to produce a bad coffee from this particular espresso machine, and with a speedy 3-second heat-up time, you'll be enjoying a fantastically brewed shot in no time at all. Like many of the best espresso machines, you can adjust the espresso settings for a shorter or longer shot. However, the adjustable pre-infusion settings here are particularly impressive. Similarly, being able to customize both the temperature and texture of the milk while also automatically steaming luscious microfoam was a particular draw in our testing. Some reviewers note that the portafilter that holds the filter with ground coffee can stick after you pull a shot, an issue we've also experienced on occasion. Users who love to be hands-on may balk at trading customization of each cup for consistency, but most people will find the compromise worth the guarantee that you'll get the same rich, nuanced drink every time. Number 2, Jura ENA8, best premium espresso machine. Jura is the gold standard of bean to cup coffee machines. While some entry-level alternatives are a bit boxy, this gently curved option places user experience at the forefront. Grinding was whisper quiet, brewing fast but considered, and the espresso was immensely high quality considering it came from a does-it-all machine. With the ENA8, you don't need to worry about grinding and tamping your beans or fiddling with grind size. It does all that for you, and while you need to buy this separately, you can also steam milk by plugging a milk container into the side of the dispenser. The microfoam from this dispenser was sturdy yet smooth, and we liked the added touch of the lights under the dispenser switching to white when milk was being steamed. While the ENA8 is expensive at around $1,500 minimum, it's not out of place in the espresso machine market, and coffee fanatics will tell you that there are many more expensive options out there that offer a lot less in terms of functionality. But our only complaint is that cleaning your milk tube can be fiddly. Some alternatives automatically flush out this tube to prevent it from clogging up, but we had to rinse the residue from this manually to prevent the milk from going bad and impacting our next drink. Number 3, Casabrews Espresso Machines CM5418, a great budget espresso machine. Considering the very reasonable price point, it's impressive off the bat that the Casabrews Espresso Machine CM5418 has a sturdy metal construction. On the front are 4 buttons power, 1 cup, 2 cups, and steam, as well as a pressure gauge, and there is also a button on the side to control the steam wand or hot water dispenser. The greatest letdown in terms of quality was the portafilter, which felt a little flimsy. Still, for the price, it's hard to complain, especially because this is something you can easily upgrade on the likes of Amazon. Our espresso had plenty of body and flavor. Of course, because there's no inbuilt grinder, you're going to want to invest in a coffee grinder if you want a really brilliant brew, as packaged coffee grounds don't dazzle the way a freshly ground bean will. Still, we were able to get a rich crema with good staying power after a few tries and with the help of the Casabrews pressure gauge. The steam wand also lacks the bells and whistles of a more expensive machine, but was certainly capable of getting the job done. It took a little longer than most machines to preheat, and once it was in full flow, it made quite a bit of noise, but we were able to get a good quality foam once it got going. Number 4, Breville Barista Express, best beginner espresso machine. If you're a budding coffee connoisseur and customization is a top priority, we recommend the Breville Barista Express. This machine looks stunning on display with its stainless steel finish and visible pressure gauge. Not only that, it delivers too. On test, we found this espresso machine performed consistently, delivering a high-quality flavor and texture of espresso complete with a thick layer of crema. It's quick to work too, although it will need 1 to 2 minutes to warm up at first. We love the customization this machine allows for. You can set the coarseness of the grounds as well as the quantity to a precise degree via 2 separate dials. Through this, you can adjust gradually until you find your perfect settings. 4 portafilter baskets lets you switch between single and double shots with single and double-walled options should you use pre-ground coffee. It's a nice touch that the tamper is held in place via a magnet on the underside of the control panel. This keeps things tidy. The Breville Barista Express can produce latte cappuccinos with the use of the built-in steam wand as well. We found the milk was foamy and creamy with a decent level of froth after steaming. Should you prefer tea, it can dispense hot water directly from here as well. Bear in mind, this is a sizable machine, and it will take up a decent amount of counter space. We also noticed that there's no low water warning, which is a shame, but it's not a deal breaker. Ultimately, if you're happy to spend the money and you want an espresso machine that looks as good as it performs, this is the one to get. Number 5, KitchenAid Semi-Automatic Espresso Machine, best premium option for a compact space. The sleek and glamorous look of the KitchenAid Semi-Automatic Espresso Machine means it will suit any modern kitchen. It features a compact design, and at 15 lbs, it's easy enough to move around. When we put it to the test, we found it produced nothing but delicious espresso from ground coffee, complete with a thick layer of crema and a delectable aroma. It couldn't be more straightforward to operate either, with 4 buttons to control everything, from the size of the shot to the water hardness level and temperature. There's a useful clean cycle here to help with descaling as well. This espresso machine offers some basic functions. In addition to pouring espresso, it can produce steam and boiling water via the steam wand, meaning it can froth milk as well as pour water for hot tea. It was more than adequate in both of these areas, although a little slow to reach the final product. Our only real qualm with this espresso machine is that an aptly sized espresso cup can easily vibrate out of place when pouring. You either need to hold it in place, not ideal from a safety perspective, or use a larger, heavier cup to avoid this issue. Other than that, we love the design of the KitchenAid Semi-Automatic Espresso Machine. It gives you the opportunity to be more involved in the espresso making process, including measuring out and tamping down the ground coffee yourself. Bear in mind it comes with a plastic exterior though, which might not be what you expect from this brand. Number 6, Philips 3200 series LatteGo, a user-friendly latte maker. The Philips 3200 series doesn't come cheap, but it brings a lot to the table. This espresso machine lets the user create beverages, which would usually require barista-level experience at the push of a button. It comes with several settings, including espresso, hot water, cappuccino, coffee, latte, macchiato, and Americano. Plus, there's the option to customize your selection by strength, size, and the amount of steamed milk. When we tried it out for ourselves, we found the coffee it produced tasted good and was not overly bitter. While we were generally pleased with the results, it could have tasted stronger. This was even the case when we adjusted it to its finest grind setting. The quality of the crema was on the thin side too. For this reason, we wouldn't recommend this machine to anyone who likes their coffee to pack a punch. We found similar results after steaming milk as well. While it held its form, it wasn't as dense as it could have been. However, while the overall performance was somewhat average, operation couldn't be much more straightforward. And with the attachments being easy to remove and clean, the LatteGo parts can even go in the dishwasher. It's a nice offering if you value simplicity above all. Number 7, Breville the Barista Touch and Press, the best espresso machine for most people. There's a bit of an expectation when it comes to espresso machines that if you want the absolute best results, you need to learn the ways of the barista. However, the Breville the Barista Touch and Press, sold in the UK as the Sage the Barista Touch and Press, is one mighty exception to this rule, and right now we think it's the best espresso machine you can get. It's Breville's most advanced, fully automated espresso maker, and granted, it'll cost you a lot more than a manual machine, but we think the results are well worth it. In short, it automatically takes care of all of the most difficult aspects of using a manual coffee machine. It combines features from our previous top pick, the Barista Express and Press, such as the compact integrated grinder, assisted tamping, and auto-dosing with the Barista Touch's touchscreen and automatic milk frothing, to make a brilliantly user-friendly and surprisingly compact espresso machine that gives incredible results every time. Number 8, Dinamica Dedica Style EC685. The best budget espresso machine. Let's say that what you want from the best espresso machine is the ability to experiment with tamping the coffee and dispensing the water, but you're on a tight budget. In that case, the Dinamica Dedica Style is one of this category's more affordable espresso machines. The Dedica Style is simple to use. It takes EC's pods or ground coffee, which means you can use it to make decaf coffee. On test, it created an intense espresso with a stable crema. It can brew 2 single espressos simultaneously, but placing 2 cups under the spout on such a compact machine proved tricky. We were disappointed that the machine couldn't make espresso straight after steaming milk. So if you're planning to make several coffees with milk, you'll need to brew all of the espressos before starting on the milk-based drinks. We also experienced some dripping after we poured espresso. Number 9, Seattle Coffee Gear Diletta Bello, the best premium espresso machine. The Seattle Coffee Gear Diletta Bello is a new winner of our best premium espresso maker recommendation. It's expensive, which is why we don't recommend it for everybody, but it's very impressive. There are no program buttons here to push, no dials for accessing presets. This is a next-level espresso machine, not quite an industrial-grade one that you'd expect to see in a coffee shop, but more elevated than that automatic one you've got at home. Most of the things you do on this espresso machine are manual. Want your shot of espresso? You have to operate a lever and know when to stop the pour. Want frothy milk? You have to get used to turning a knob all the way, then quickly shutting it down before your froth spills over. If you're looking for an espresso machine that does everything for you with a single touch while you're still rubbing the sleep from your eyes, this definitely isn't the machine for you. But if you care about the craft of coffee and want manual control so you can get your coffee just so, There's a lot to love, not least a price tag that comes in below many other high-quality manual machines. The learning curve is pretty steep. It'll take a day or so before you really get the hang of it, but the coffee is pretty much perfect. Number 10, the Dinamica Plus, the best bean to cup machine for personalized drinks. If you're short on time but don't want to compromise on the quality of your morning coffee, the Dinamica Plus could be best espresso machine for your kitchen. The espresso machine is certainly pricey, but the personalization it allows may make up for it. The Dinamica Plus automatically covers every step of the process, from grinding the beans to getting the perfect milk frothiness and even giving itself a clean at the end. User profiles and guest mode mean you can set up a profile that contains your perfect caffeine concoction, with no fear that your partner's preferences might interfere. On test, we found it easy to customize both directly and via its app, although it took a few attempts to get coffee brewed exactly how we liked it. With the right adjustments, however, we were able to get an espresso with a well-rounded flavor and a thick, well-formed crema.